Okay, so I tried to do this video once before, but there was no sound to it. So I apologize that it's taken me this long to get this video together. So this is going to be kind of related to questions 8, 9, and 10, I think, that's on the 11.5 challenge, the challenge page. So what we're going to do is create a data set from 3 unusual box and whisker plots. So the first one is unusual because the left side doesn't have a whisker to it. The middle one is unusual because you don't have a median identified. And the last one is unusual because you don't have a whisker on either side. And so I'm not going to give you the answers to this, but I'm going to show you what you can do and how to work it based on the things that you already know. So first, we're just going to address the 5-number summary, which is the minimum, Q1, the median, Q3, and the max. So the median divides a data set in half. So each one of these have been given a condition of 10 numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the middle number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the middle number is always going to be, the median is always going to be figured out by doing this. So then my minimum is going to be this half of the data set. So there's 5 numbers here. So this number right here is Q1, and this number right here is Q3. So Q1 and Q3. And that's going to be the same for all of them, right? Q1 and Q3, Q1 and Q3. Sorry about reaching all the way across. Okay, so when we look at this, we recognize that this number here is the median. So these 2 numbers here are going to make up whatever that is. And again, I'm not going to give you the answers because you've got a number line underneath of here on your own paper or on your paper that tells you what these numbers are. So I'm not going to spend a bunch of time going through that. But here's the real question. How do we get something here that the minimum number and Q1 is the same? Well, here's the minimum number and here's Q1. So if they're the same number, then these 3 numbers right here have to be the same number. That's just logic. And Mrs. Raber, who is my camera person today, has finally learned that Mr. Raber talks about logic at home a lot. And she says, well, it doesn't seem logical to me, Mr. Raber. And I'm saying, well, it is logical. And so in order for the minimum and Q1 to be the same, these 3 numbers have to be the same number, okay? Now, you know what that number is because you've got a number line that tells you what that number is, okay? So that's pretty straightforward. Now, your median, your Q3, and your maximum, those are all numbers that you get off of your number line. So now let's go down to, so that's the first kind of strange one. The next one that's unusual, here we have no median. So all that tells us is that Q1 and the median are the same. Or Q3 and the median are the same. Now, you can pick whichever one you want. There's no way that we can tell from the data what they want us to do here. So you get to pick. So what does it mean if Q1 and the median are the same? Well, here's what it means for you. If you choose to make Q1, then these 4 numbers right here are the same number. It's pretty straightforward. Now, if you choose to make the median and Q3 the same, then, sorry, can I have that right there, please? Then these numbers will be the same.
Mm.
Nope. Don't do anything. Nothing, it's fine. Nothing.
There's something on my head.
Well, there's something on Mrs. Raber's head. She's a little scared. It's all gone. It's fine. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. There you go. All better? Okay, so these four numbers would be the same if Q1 and the median's the same. These four numbers would be the same if you choose to make the median in Q3 the same. And you know what those numbers are, because again, a different set of numbers are underneath of here on your paper. Okay, so we've addressed this one, and we've addressed this one. Now this one is exactly the same as this, except instead of on one side, it's on both sides. So if on this side we had these three numbers were the same, then that's going to be the same here, okay? So these three numbers are the same. And that we know that because this line right here represents Q1 and the minimum. So if that's the same, if it's on this side, then on the other side, these three numbers have to be the same. So that means that this is Q3 and this is the maximum. Okay? So again, you've got a number line underneath that tells you what that is. I don't know what it is, but you've got that number line. So that's how you can tell. So 3 different box and whisker plots and 3 different 5-number summaries, but you're creating a 10-number data set. So away you go.